This game recap is brought to you by IBC Bank. IBC Bank, we do more. Sitterly Homes, Network Funding, and by Greg Sherman Videography. Call 419-902-3353 for all your video needs in San Antonio and the Hill Country. The Reagan Rattlers have gone through a lot of ups and downs throughout the season, a lot of injuries, close losses, and a lot of new faces. But as they head into their final game of the regular season at South San, Reagan is in a unique position where they don't even have to beat the Bobcats to get to the knockout rounds. Both teams come in with records of 4-5 on the season. Reagan is 3-3 in district play. South San is 2-4 in district play. As you take a look at the standings on your screen, you'll notice Madison is still alone at the top at 6-0. If they beat Johnson, they will be the district champions for the second straight year. The bigger focus, though, is down to the middle of your screen. Reagan is sitting in 4th place. Churchill and South San right behind them. Churchill was mathematically eliminated from playoff contention last night. You see the score on your screen, 34-21. They lost to Roosevelt. Trust me, folks, the game was not even as close as the final score indicated, as the Chargers scored a couple of garbage time touchdowns that reopened the door for South San to get their first playoff spot in 12 years and gave Reagan an extra out towards getting in. You see the scenarios on your screen. Churchill eliminated. Reagan actually can get in with a win tonight, or if they lose by less than 16 points, South San has to win by at least 16 points. That's because of the positive points tiebreaker. South San doesn't win by 16 points, Reagan will still get in. Roosevelt will finish in 2nd, 3rd place. As far as tonight's matchup, I mentioned it's been 12 years since South San has been to the playoffs. This is the biggest game that South San Stadium has seen since that time. Could the Rattlers go into their first true road district game in 10 years and come out with a win, or lose by few enough points to get in? Well, let's check out the highlights brought to you as always by IBC Bank, Network Funding, and Sitterly Homes. Because of the positive point tiebreaker, Reagan actually had a 15.5-point head start on the Bobcats. But early on, South San made things interesting. Lance Lawrence overthrew his receiver. The pass was intercepted by Richard Lopez, returned to the Reagan 45. The Bobcats would score. They went for 2, missed it, but they led 6-0 and cut into the tiebreaker deficit. Remember Lopez and 45, as both would factor in later. O'Connor head coach David Molesky briefly wondered if Reagan wouldn't get in. He had never seen Carson Green play, and apparently neither did South San. Before Green did his work, South San began to self-destruct. Back-to-back 15-yard penalties gave Reagan 30 free yards and a short field to start the second quarter. Unfortunately, videographer Juliet Bunsen had camera issues, so we will tell the rest of the story, a la Paul Harvey, through the coach's film. First play of the period, and Green ran right around and threw the South San defense into the end zone. Point after gave Reagan 7-6 with the lead. For all intents and purposes, the competitive phase of the game and South San's playoff hopes ended right there. After giving up an early touchdown, the Rattler defense locked down the Bobcats. Roberto Sada blew by the offensive line for the sack on the Bobcat quarterback as their offensive implosion began. After having a 45-yard scoring drive, the Bobcats managed -1 yards of offense in the final 16 minutes of the half.
We just started doing what we were coached to do by Coach Hamilton. As soon as we did that, as soon as we executed the actual plan, they stopped moving the ball.
While South San went nowhere, Carson Green went everywhere. Green ran around again, headed for the end zone, spun out of a tackle, and scored. Next drive, Green, well, being Green, he ran right through the defense like a hot knife through warm butter. He scored touchdowns on 3 straight carries. At halftime, he had 166 yards rushing, which was 122 more yards than South San had altogether.
I was just running hard and following the blocks, and there was open and breaking arm tackles, just making guys miss. It was a well-played first half.
We were just able to get it done, do what we're coached to do. And Carson, well, he's one of the best running backs in the state of Texas, and he can get it done. Just work harder and harder, practice hard, it all just comes together.
Opening drive of the third, Sada with another quarterback sack. Reagan completely decimated the South San offensive line. Lance Lorenz didn't have many passing yards, but that's because Reagan shortened the game with the run game partway because of the 15.5-point head start. The quarterback got in on the fun with a short touchdown run after a 7.5-minute drive. The point tiebreaker, well, doesn't matter as Reagan will finish alone in fourth. Over the final 40 minutes minutes of the game, South San had 41 yards of offense. Carson Green ran for 201 before exiting, and the freshman single-handedly outgained the team in blue.
We were in the race with them, and tonight we had to show people that we can play in the playoffs with everybody else.
We've been in the playoffs for the past 3 weeks. We're heading to first round, but it's really the fourth round. Hoping to do against O'Connor what we did last year. We're absolutely going to do that. Excited to be here.
They really progressed from the start of the season till now, and I'm really proud, and they should be proud of me tonight, and I'm really proud of them because we balled out together.
Rattlers qualified for the knockout rounds for the 9th straight year, while South San missed for the 12th straight season. Madison beat Johnson for the district title, and Lee beat MacArthur to end their 26-game district losing streak. The 5-5 finish, their first non-winning season since 2010, means they made the knockout rounds for the first time ever with a non-winning regular season record. They finished 4th in the district. The last time they finished 4th was 2006. That team also started 1-3, but as you might remember, they went all the way to the quarters. It was also the 3rd time in school history they held 4 district opponents to 1 touchdown or less. First up in the playoffs will be a familiar foe in O'Connor. The Panthers beat Reagan in the 2nd round in 2017, while Reagan solved Molesky ball and blew out OC in round 1 last year. That game will be at Ferris Stadium next Saturday. Reporting from South San, I'm Greg Sherman.